You are already losing, right now, and you don't even know it. Every time you explain yourself, you lose. Every time you defend yourself, you lose. Every time you speak when silence would have served you, you hand them the weapon they use against you. You were never taught to be quiet. You were taught to perform, to prove, to explain. And so you leak. Your plans, your fears, your anger, your hunger. You leak, and the people around you drink. They learn your weaknesses, your patterns, your timing. And then, when the moment comes, they use everything you gave them. Everything. Sun Tzu saw this. He called it the most dangerous vulnerability a man can carry. Not weakness of body, not weakness of mind, the inability to master silence. You were not born this way. You were shaped this way. Every system around you, family, society, institutions, rewarded you for being readable. Readable meant safe. Safe meant controllable. And controllable meant useful to them. Your openness was not a gift, it was a transaction. They got information, you got approval. And when the approval stopped, you talked more, explained more, proved more. This is not a character flaw. This is a trained response, and it can be unlearned. But first you have to see the game that's being played. You have to see who profits from your noise. The person who always knows where you stand always knows where to push. The person who never knows where you stand can never aim. Silence is not absence. Silence is armor. Every word you withhold is a position they cannot attack. Every reaction you withhold is a lever they cannot pull. You are told that openness is strength, and in the right hands, it is. But you are not always in the right hands. Knowing the difference, that is the beginning of real intelligence. And that is where Sun Tzu begins. Sun Tzu was not a self-help writer. He was a general, a strategist, a man who studied human nature to win wars. He watched armies destroy themselves, not by losing battles, but by revealing their intentions before the battle began. He understood that most men defeat themselves long before any enemy strikes. He was not celebrated in his own time. Power rarely celebrates those who expose how it works. His words were buried, hidden, passed between generals in secret, because whoever understood them won. He wrote about water, about formlessness, about becoming something your enemy cannot grasp. And then he said this: be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby you can be the director of the opponent's fate. Sun Tzu. The director of the opponent's fate, not the reactor, not the explainer, the director. That is what mastering silence makes you, and it starts with 6 lessons that most people will never learn. The first man to speak in a negotiation has already lost. You've been in this situation. The pause, the silence after you've made your case, the unbearable quiet that made you speak again and ruin everything. That discomfort you feel in silence, that is conditioning. It was put there deliberately to keep you talking. Every word you add after you've made your point is a concession, a reveal, a weakening. Starting today, make your point, then close your mouth. Sit in the silence. Let it work for you. Drop this in the comments. Silence is my weapon. The silence after your statement is not emptiness. It is pressure directed at them. The moment they see you want something, it triples in price. You've shown hunger before, for a job, for a relationship, for approval, and you watched it slip away the moment they felt your need. Hunger triggers a primal mechanism in others. It signals leverage, and leverage invites exploitation. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. Starting today, want things deeply in private. In public, you already have enough. You are already complete. Abundance is not always a condition. Sometimes it is a performance, and the audience makes it real. Your reaction is your most expensive involuntary gift. Someone says something designed to anger you, to humiliate you, to test you, and you react, and they win instantly. They didn't want an argument, they wanted data. Your reaction told them exactly where your boundaries are. Now they own the map. Starting today, take 3 seconds before every response. In those 3 seconds, choose, don't perform. Drop this in the comments. I respond, I do not react. The pause is not hesitation. The pause is power assembling itself before it moves. The most dangerous person in the room is always the one no one is watching. You have been taught to announce yourself, to prove your worth loudly and upfront. But announcement invites evaluation, and evaluation invites attack. When they underestimate you, they stop preparing for you, and that is when you move. Starting today, let your results speak. Let your actions arrive without announcement. Let them be surprised. Drop this in the comments. I am the destination, not the pursuit. The man who needs to tell you he is powerful is not. Power that announces itself has already shown its ceiling. You are not obligated to explain yourself to anyone. Every explanation you give is a story about how you think. Every justification is a map of your insecurities. Stop giving those away for free. Selective revelation is not dishonesty, it is sovereignty. It is the difference between a garden wall and a glass house. Starting today, answer questions with questions. Give information in exchange for information. Protect your interior. What they do not know about you, they must imagine, and imagination always fills the gap with something greater than the truth. When they cannot define you, they cannot dismiss you, and they cannot defeat you. People need to put you in a box. It makes them comfortable. It makes you manageable. The moment they file you, they stop watching you. Be interested in everything. Be committed to nothing that others can see. Move between roles with ease. Let no single mask become your only face. Starting today, resist the urge to be understood. Not everyone deserves your depth. Let your surface confuse them while your interior strengthens. Drop this in the comments. They cannot file what they cannot define. Water has no permanent shape, but water carved the Grand Canyon. It will outlast stone. It will find every crack. It cannot be stopped because it cannot be grabbed. Sun Tzu didn't just write strategy, he wrote your instruction manual, and you are only now opening it. Everything you were told about yourself, the version that needed approval, that explained itself, that flinched, that is over. The old you is dead. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to be understood. You are here to move through the world with intelligence and precision. You are a weapon pointed at your own future. Every lesson in this video was a piece of armor forged from centuries of strategic thought. Put it on, all of it. Drop this in the comments. I am forged, not found. You belong to no one, not to a group, not to a relationship, not to a label, not to a version of yourself that no longer serves you. You are the general of your own life. You determine what is revealed. You determine what moves. You determine what is won. And silence is your first command. There are people who will scroll past this, and there are people who will stay. You already know which one you are. Subscribing is not support. It is a signal to yourself that you choose to receive knowledge that most people will never find. This channel exists for the ones who are done being readable, done being exploited, done explaining themselves to rooms that were never listening. Drop this in the comments. I came here to evolve. Before you leave, one question for the comments, and take your time with it, because the answer will tell you exactly where you are. When was the last time your silence changed the outcome and you knew it in the moment?